Right, so for my next trick, I bought myself a genuine imitation titanium exhaust for a 150cc scooter because noises. And it came with a genuine imitation fake carbon fibre muffler. Mostly, look, it's going to be a bit noisier. They apparently make a tiny bit more power, but mostly that thing is really heavy. And the cheapest way to make a bike, or cheapest way to make a vehicle go fast, is to add lightness. So I'm adding lightness. Take off this thing, put on the fake carbon fibre. It'll be quieter. So, yeah, here goes. Hang on. So, first things first is I'm going to undo these. Where are we? There and there. Those two bolts first, because that'll let the pipe drop out from under the engine. With a 12mm socket. Like that. That. Oh, that was a bit tight. One, two, and then after that we will have that, that, that and that. Okay, cool. And that one. These are basically the exhaust has a sort of built-in bracket that attaches to the, I'm going to call it a swing arm, but it actually swings from all the way up here. But if you're used to working on bikes, you'll call it a swing arm. Yeah, come, yeah, like that. Bloody heavy. Needlessly heavy. That's what it looks like underneath. And then, what will we put on first? I guess we'll put the header pipe on first. Oh, the sound of youth. I can't tell if that's a gasket or silicon or what, but it kind of looks like it was one of these. And I don't have anything to get it. Okay. Maybe it's like a round gasket. My Suzuki has. That didn't go on very well. It's one of the perils of buying cheap stuff is, especially cheap old stuff, people haven't wanted to spend a lot of money on it. And before the likes of AliExpress, Alibaba Temu, whoever came along, the gasket was probably worth, you know, $25, which was 10% of the value of the scooter at one time. Because in Sydney, once upon a time, you couldn't give these away. No one wanted them. You were labelled a bit of a Nancy if you rode a scooter. But nowadays, the traffic's so heavy, the coppers are everywhere. It suddenly makes good sense to ride around on something you can just zip down to the shops on. Well, that thing there, it's fantastic. It rips, makes a fantastic noise. You know, it's fast. It's 0 to 100 in 4 seconds. But how often can you do that? Once a week? I don't have time to ride much. I usually make better quality videos for other people. This is just like something I do for a bit of fun, and hopefully people learn something along the way. Oh, try and get that on there. Why don't you go up on there nicely? I think if we can get the bolts on, that will be fine. Oh, God. Assuming it fits. Oh, you bloody thing. Don't scratch your fake titanium. Lost the bolt. There it is. Now we can force it on with this. That's a bit happier. So what we've done is I've wound that out. I've wound the nut on so that there's a bit of thread showing on the bolt, on the stud. Maybe not enough. Let's see what we can do. Yeah, it's not. That's not a good fit. I was a little concerned. I'll take that off. Does it fit? Doesn't actually. That looks like a kind of a bit of a gasket. I've seen other ones, it's just like a round ring. My Suzuki uses a similar setup. So let's just chuck it on without the gasket and see what happens. We might have a minor leak there that we'll have to deal with later. Okay, so we'll get them on, but not tight, so that we can then argue with the rest of it. What I didn't mention was this sort of tapers down just a little bit. It didn't actually fit over the pipe, so I just got a flat wheel on the drill, and I just had to do that a little bit just to take like there's a little bird on there, remove the little bird, and it was much better. And our next thing is try and work out how this attaches. Come on here. Which I assume might be like that. That's a really high setup, isn't it? I can't imagine it. Can't imagine it going any other way. Wow. Can't like that. A bit close to that spring. We'll see what happens. Put that on there. Pick up the bolt next time. Put that one on. This one down in here. Oh, that's not going in very nicely, but anyway, we'll see what happens when we put this on. Okay, so that's no good at all in any way, shape or form. People say these don't work. It doesn't work at all. I think it's for one with one shock, which means we're going to have to bin that out. There's no way in the world. There's no way in the world that is going to clear that. Good on you. Good on you, China. Great job. Great job. Freaking hopeless. I thought the people who said they don't fit and you have to cut and weld and carry on and fart about just probably didn't know what they were doing. Maybe not. I can't. It can't possibly fit. That's just freaking brilliant. I wonder if we can bend that very slightly. If that's not there at all. We don't need much. We bent that there out a bit. It may work. Let's see if we can do that. So here we are, we're going to try and kick that out a little bit and try and make it. That's probably going to get really hot. Very cold day in Sydney. Hard to keep the heat in it. I don't know if that moved at all. Yeah, we'll try it. I don't know if that did anything. Be cool it off. I don't know. I don't know. I'm a bit annoyed. Well, that was a little bit better. Giving it some nice rainbow. So I'll go and do it again. I won't film it because it's going to be awkward. Yeah, we're going to try again, bend it a little bit more. We'll make it fit. Bloody hell. Oh, God help us. Alright, so we've been in the shed and we've attacked this thing with a matte gas and a vise and a couple of levers, and we've put a bit of a crease in it. But you know, I've seen worse on exhaust. The rest of it's not so bad. What I reckon, this is set up, hang on, I think it's set up for a, do the scooters with one shock have a swing arm, because it's the shock absorber that got in the way. But anyway, we've got our bracket on. We've got it bent roughly where we think we want it. So, I'm tired and cranky. So how do you think this channel got its name? From my lovely wife. You should call it the Grumpy Man Garage, because you're a grumpy old fart. I resemble that remark. So it sort of kind of almost fits now. If we excuse my camera work, I'm sorry. If we give this an almighty twist around like that, that looks like it's going to clear the shock absorber. Okay. So if that goes on there, what the hell? Okay, so that's not right. That's obviously not right. What is that supposed to attach to then? I thought that went like that. No. Oh, but I can't get to that now. Don't know. Is it meant to be? So I've done this completely wrong. Okay, so this is a proper pain in my ass, I've got to tell you. This doesn't work at all. This had to be bent like crazy. And the bolt is so close to the pipe I can't get a socket on it, so I'm going to have to use an open end spanner. But I've got it close. Hopefully it doesn't move too much. It came with this little bracket here. Yeah, you can see that there. So I'm just going to cut a spacer at 32 millimeters, put in there, and hopefully it's going to be okay. Don't buy one of these if you get a TGB. Just don't buy one of these. It's shit. Okay. Let's see. Put in there. The bloody thread's too long. Too short, of course. The bike has been such a joy until now. Let's see if that'll tighten up. There you go. That's fine. What have we got here? It's got just enough, we think. give you a hex. It takes a 12 mil. I hope you all enjoy a YouTuber. I don't like calling myself a YouTuber, but a bloke on the internet that's keeping it real. You know, sometimes these jobs just suck. Sometimes things don't work out right. Sometimes it's not all bright and shiny and, oh, hey guys, what's up everybody, all that crap. Sometimes it's like this. Sometimes you're lucky enough to have your young bloke home to hold the camera while you swear at the person who designed this bloody thing. Get that tight. Put that back in. Came with a plug for a sensor that I don't have. 13. No. Socket that out there. 14. Alright, well, we'll kick her in the guts and see what we've ended up with. Come around here, champ. Hold that there. Because we'll take it outside because I just remembered the boss lady's working in the office today. Hang on. Alright, so we had a little leak at the front, that's sorted. It's actually for all this stuffing around. So that's with the DB killer. We'll pop that out, see what it's like. So that little fella in there is to keep it quiet. If you care about people, if you got cranky neighbours or whatever, so you loosen that nut. And then just simply slides out like that. Keep it rolling. And then don't get too close, it'll be too loud. Then you get do a flyby.
Maybe.
Stop that. That was obnoxious. We need a DB killer So I'll chuck that back in and I'll see, but I might open up the DB killer a little bit as well. Alright, so I just noticed this little cap can come out as well, which will help a little bit. What I've done before is drill a hole in that, but let's just take it out and see what happens. I don't know if it goes faster, but it feels like it goes faster. You know, the old bum dyno is giving me a positive result. I shut that in like that. Shut that in. Oh. Right. Drop that in there. That should be a little less annoying. Need wet in the grass. Okay, so I think that's a happy medium for the noise. Running a little lean. We're going to have to open up the jet a little bit. We'll put a bigger main jet in it. I think the pilot's fine. Just listen how high it's revving. But overall, I'm going to call it a success. A royal pain in the ass, but a success. We'll drop that idle down. So the idle ended up a bit high after all of that. So to adjust your idle, to adjust the idle on a 150cc scooter, pop the bonnet. Done.